Hello, everybody. Good afternoon. This is Dr. Rao. Found some time to chat. So I'm here. So I've been having a busy day with a lot of meetings, and finally I'm free for the evening. So I thought I will come and chat with my friends a little bit. Uh, well, a lot of uh, anguish going on with the election. So I was talking about that. Anyway, for those who really do not know me, I'm a physician. I did practice internal medicine in United States for about 40, 45 years, maybe. And now I consult mostly online. And uh, my interest is in wellness, how to really.
Three ways to decompress the spine at home. One, sink suspense. Define gravity and dishes for a happy spine. Two, bed bungee. Hang loose at the bottom for a.
I don't know what that is. Something came up. Oh, let's get rid of that. Okay, there you are. I think something going on. So, practicing internal medicine practice for so many years gave me really understanding of how the health system in the United States is mostly routed around illness. And we have excellent acute care medicine, and we kind of fix illnesses pretty good and treat them if they are really wrong. But we don't do much to prevent them, to make people be well for a long time. That's where I can look up the ancient systems and kind of combining both of them. I put a company, and that company is now have a lot of services. We do what's called wellness club in the morning and in the evening. People come and do yoga with me and also pose questions about wellness. It could be related to their illnesses or to their families or general understanding and all that. So I do have a Facebook group where they come and pose these questions and take answers. And then I also go live there sometimes just to meet those members, and then answer their questions and also take their requests and all that, right? And I also have a membership for what's called NEW, okay? Nurturing elderly wise people, people who have retired, who are not in nursing homes, but who are at home, and they may not have many activities that they could do and enjoy their old age. Okay, lots of times they feel lonely and they feel meaningless living and also no purposeful living. Those kind of people, I just wanted to inculcate some new interests in them, like learning so many things. Like they can learn about yoga, they can learn about meditation and pranayama, which is the breathing, and they can learn about new philosophies that they were not familiar with, and they can also learn about what is happening in the scientific milieu, what are the new things that are coming up. So I just create some activities for them. Thereby, they can spend some time not only just entertaining themselves, but also enlightening themselves. That's the idea. Then that all that age and everything really brings out their own innate wisdom and how to use that. Okay, instead of being conditioned by the entertainment industry, I want them to return to the enlightenment of their own. Okay, so that is a service, and also I provide burnout coaching for my colleagues, healthcare professionals, so doctors and nurses, and I help the IT young people who are really overburdened by information overload. I help them with the stress reduction program. And the corporate leaders, I try to really talk to them about servant leadership and really see that strain and stress is gone away by that. Okay, and we also have courses for how to be in flow, how to be in present moment awareness, how to sleep well, number of things that are directed to problems from the modern living. How can we really resolve them with good things that we can do, like yoga, pranayama, meditation, all that. Okay, so I also am into ancient wisdom of Advaita Vedanta, which really gives you answers to the fundamental questions. That's my main thing, you could say. So that's what I'm involved in all the time, and really, really getting the benefit of that kind of philosophy. It's not about the Hinduism. It's not about worshipping only one God. Nothing like that. It is beyond that, beyond the thought, beyond the religion, and all that. So those are my activities daily, and many calls I get are because of they are not able to adjust to the situations that they're facing, either in the marriage or at the work or at the school or anything like that. Okay, so that is something I kind of spend time, because that is something relieves their pain, sometimes instantly, sometimes later, but then their understanding takes a different route, right? So it's not agreeing to whatever we say. It's like making them think about those things and find answers within themselves. I think that's the way to really go towards the enlightenment. It's not going beyond your thought. Okay, it's not about logical, rational. That's not it. It's about appealing to the heart within, to the intuition within, to find answers by themselves. I really enjoy that, taking people on their journey, not by influencing them with the words, but then encouraging them to take those paths. For example, keeping quiet, enjoying the stillness. Many people don't do that, but I do that. You may be seeing me talking because this is a talking medium. I had to talk. Otherwise, I'm silent most of the time. I really enjoy that. I think that's a privilege. That's a blessing, right? So many people, we all talk, we all write, we all listen to a lot of things, but it's always noise in the mind. Is that needed? No. Uh, is that our nature? No. Is that something need? No. But we develop these habits of need to speak, need to be validated, need to be approved, and all that. Okay. But real peace, real happiness, and um, contentment comes from being silent. Um, there is a lot of science, inner sciences from the East on this, about what is natural. Silence is natural, but then we find that very unusual because we have the mind all the time going. That's the thing with the modern information flow, and everybody wants our attention, so they want to load with lots of information for us, right? So it's a kind of question of common sense, really, right? Uh, Go and find a tree and then sit underneath and enjoy its shade and the wind, and feel that wind on you. And then we have this big park here, which is hundreds of acres along the Mississippi. You got to drive if you want to go deep within, or you can take short walks on the trails there too. So we often go there, and the number of trees, the amount of greenery that is all there during the summer months, and now it is like a colors change. Uh, each day it is a different beauty. Are you in touch with that? That's the question. Okay. Are you in touch with the silence there when you are sitting under the tree, and not allowing all the worries, all the concerns of the world to enter into you, and just take it easy and relax back and under the tree? It's heavenly, like it's beautiful. You don't need to spend anything to touch that kind of serene, calm, beautiful universe that is there. Well, you can open your mind and then remember all the politics and everything that's going on, and then you can crowd yourself like that. But I chose not to do majority of the time. I want to be intentional about the news and what is going on. Once I'm aware of what's going on, why do I have to see that again and again and again? Okay. So, sorry, some call came up. Okay. So, say it's a natural thing that our ancestors tapped in, and they were always going inward. Outwardly, they want to be simple, but inwardly, they were going in. And that is where the treasures are, I believe, right? So, I not that I believe, I kind of touch that, that inner serenity. And out of that, a lot of regard for other people who are also with you that comes out. That's when I kind of extend myself to so that I can share that a little bit with other people, and it does happen. Okay, when you come on the thing, and there are a lot of um, troubled minds, troubled people will be looking for answers, and they look outside all the time. But if you can make them go inward by keeping your mind silent, what is it that is beyond the thought is very valuable for us. Okay. Um, Hopefully that makes sense to you guys. Let's see who's coming. Oh, Maival. Okay. Yeah. Hi, Maival.
Hi, Dr. Rao. How are you?
I am great. How are you? Tell me.
I'm good. I'm just here. I'm here at my mother-in-law's house,
Okay.
checking them.
Hmm.
I have a beautiful story to tell you that
Yeah.
I went to my volunteer. So
Uh,
I went to the grocery Asian grocery store,
yeah.
and inside the Asian grocery store, I supposed to go to the salon. I'm looking for my hairdresser, because here in America I only have one hairdresser. I always go there, right?
Uh,
So the owner of the salon is, she said like, he said like, she's not here. Like, okay, I will come. I will call to make an appointment. But before I left, I saw three beautiful. I will say that Brahma. So they are in 85. It's actually 85 to 80 to 85. Three beautiful ladies, and they're smiling at me, and then I'm smiling at them. I just they're looking at me, and and they're smiling at me, and then I'm smiling at them,
yeah.
and then I start chatting them like, hey, you guys, I say, hey, how are you, beautiful ladies? And then they said they're in the salon. They're
Yeah.
in the salon. They have haircuts and stuff, and they are, they're having fun. Like, oh, it's like, I'm looking forward to reach this age of you guys. And I asked them like, what is your secret? And
Uh,
then they told me like, hey, you're very young. Like, yeah, I'm very young. But I want to learn what is your secret, guys. And then like, yeah, just be happy and eat food, good food, like a nutritious food, and also enjoy life. Can you
yeah.
imagine they're 85 years old and they're in the salon dating? Three of them are doing dates.
It's like a happy-go-lucky people. So
Yes, and I just talk to them like few minutes, and I'm having fun of them. I'm just like, oh my god, and like,
yeah,
what is your secret? I'm just curious what's going on, because in the future I will be that age, and at least I have an idea that
yeah,
maybe I'm using it right now, and it's like, oh, I'm using that one too, so I will continue it,
yeah,
because and they're very happy and beautiful, and they're smiling.
yeah,
It's
yeah.
very good energy.
Right, ripe with wisdom, probably. Deep, not Sanjay Gupta from the CNN. He went to Okinawa in Japan, and then he spent time with the centurions, and he wrote a book on the centurions. What are the secrets of them that they're living
Yeah,
so long and so happy? And one of the
yeah,
things that really came out was laid back. They weren't taking
yeah.
anything serious, you know.
Yeah, that makes sense. It is 100. It is 100%. Like if
Yeah,
you don't take seriously and then you just
yeah,
enjoy what you're doing, and then they don't. If you ask like, what, you're 85 years old, that they're very active.
yeah. They're very active. That's the key. Keeping moving the body, and then
Uh-huh.
keeping the mind silent.
Yes, and then they're just like, we do have a prayer and
Yeah,
stuff. Like, oh my God, it's beautiful.
yeah.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to have rich dad. Like I already told my husband, like, hon, when we reach old, I don't want to stay at home. We keep doing, we go outside, we go to the park, we walk around, and we have a day.
Yeah.
Because our son will be he's grown up, so we two of us only, and we're
No, no, no. You are living very well, my well. Live well now. You will go there. So, with your attitude, I think you will be. With your fine. Okay? You are
my
involved. Yeah. You
my husband is he is a quiet person. Which
okay?
is that he is very quiet person. That's why I just tease him to make you. It's just I'm making I'm making make me like just engaging him like
Yeah.
he's a very
That's
quiet
a good
person.
match. You are talkative and he is silent. That's nice, though. Very nice combination. Yeah, come up, Mabel, if you want to talk more about it. That's wonderful. Yeah, this old elderly people in their face, in their smile, in their affection, they're pretty beautiful. I remember seeing them in India in the villages quite often. Yeah, go ahead, Mabel. You're back.
So, so yeah, it's just like it's a relationship. It's
Hmm.
just a relationship. It
Yeah,
doesn't matter if you're rich or poor. It's just like how you create a beautiful relationship.
yeah,
Because happiness, you cannot buy happiness.
yeah,
It's just it's inside of you.
yeah,
And even if you have a lot of money,
yeah,
if you're not happy,
yeah.
it's nothing.
Young people reach me, Mabel, for these relationship problems. I usually ask them, why did you marry? They say, we were in love. Are you in love now or your egos are clashing? Then they realize, yeah, they are letting the egos come in between and then they drop it and they care for each other. And they are in love
Yeah.
again and go back to the love again.
Mm, yeah, yeah. Because me, I'm an old soul. I'm conservative in a modern day. You
Yeah.
know.
Hmm.
Yeah. So that's me. I'm conservative in a modern day. So for me, marriage is um I keep it because that's my
Yeah.
partner.
Yeah.
I pray
It's
for.
one life together, really, you
Yeah,
know?
I actually honestly I just pray for a man. Like
Yeah.
when I was young, like teenager, so I pray that I actually write something like the specific man I want to be in my life.
Mm.
Like for example, if this person is not it's not for me, don't give it to me because
Hmm.
I don't want to, it's okay to get hurt,
Yeah.
but just give me that person. It's
Mm.
just I pray for it. I pray for it. And I thank God that
Mabel, in your love, you don't get hurt.
yes, yeah. But sometimes when you're young, it's just like, okay, let's
Yeah,
have each
yeah,
other.
yeah, yeah.
But when you get mature enough,
Yes.
you have to, I just, for me, I just pray for it. And I thank God that they give me,
Yeah.
they give me a man, that
Mabel, do you
love.
know I met my wife today and the day after tomorrow we married.
Tell you, Dr. Rao, oh my God, you are similar to me.
So it's arranged marriage, right? So and we have been together since 1994, March 3rd.
Uh-huh.
That's when we got married, and then March 6th, and then we have been with us because what it is in the ancient way of Indian way is to marriage not only for ourselves but also for the society, and then
Uh-huh.
there's a sanctimony of the marriage bond.
Yeah. So yeah.
Yeah,
So
my wife is very patient. Her name is Dharni. That means the one who carries the earth.
oh wow. So you know what? We are in a we are different culture.
Yeah.
We have a different background of, regarding the marriage, right? So your
Mhm.
marriage is you have a different experience. I have a different
Yeah.
experience, but in the end, it's just like love.
No, we were raised like this. The husband really thinks about the needs of the wife first, and the
Mm-hmm.
wife regards husband as everything for her. So that
So
kind of combination of care for each other goes a long way. It's not about who is important, who is winning. It's about how we are building it together.
yeah. So Dr. Rao, are you a person? Are you a husband that you give power to your wife?
Yeah, sure. She's always with me because she worked with my office as office manager in the medical clinic. I have a big medical clinic, and then I took her to all bank officers' meetings, so she will
Nice.
know what's going on. You know why
Yes,
that
yes.
was? When my mom, when she was very young, she had already 7 children. But my father was very filthy rich at the time, but then she was not knowing how to manage that, so all the riches walked away. So
Mm-hmm.
from filthy rich, we came to middle class, and then we came again, made our kids all studied well, and we came well, okay. But the thing is, I didn't want my wife to be like that. I wanted her to be empowered from the beginning.
Yes, I love that. I love it because I am lucky that my husband gave me power too.
Yeah. No, he doesn't have to give power. You are the power. You already have it.
No, it's just like I can
Yeah, that's what happens. Let's see who is waiting here. Okay. Okay, Mark wants to come up. Okay. Oh, it says oh. So I don't know what happened. Yeah, now you should be coming in, Mark. So hi, Mark.
So how's it? Hi there. How's it going today?
Very good. I am great.
So where do you live?
I live in Iowa,
Oh,
Clinton,
really?
Iowa.
So if I was driving across country and I was going to Miami, would I go by there naturally, or would I go a different route?
We are in the middle, right? Middle of the country, Midwest.
Well, I have to go through I live in Seattle-ish, so I'm going east, obviously,
Yeah.
and I think I'm going to go. I think I'm going to go through North Dakota to visit some family,
Uh-huh.
and then would I naturally go through Iowa if I was going south to Florida from there?
It depends on what route you take. You come to Chicago, from Chicago, you want to go, you'll go through us.
Yeah. Anyway, I was going to offer I'd come visit you because in early December I'll be driving down there.
Yeah, let me know. Then I'll tell you where exactly we are, and you can drive through us.
That'd be great. It would be
Yeah.
super fun to meet you in person. It's not. I don't see any downside of doing stuff over Noon Vibe, but
Yeah.
I mean, if you could meet in person, then when you talk on Noon Vibe, it's a little bit better.
Yeah, I know a few people did that. There was a Bollywood actor that I met him on Clubhouse, and he came here just to spend a couple of days with me for a kind of a retreat for him. And we had a
Sure.
great time at that time. So, yeah, you are welcome, Mark. We'll also have a good time with you.
Yeah, it would be fun because, like I said, I've studied non-duality and a lot, like hundreds of hours, but you've lived it, right?
Yeah.
So I don't live it. I just know it kind of intellectually, but I don't practice it too much. It'd be fun to hang out for a bit and just talk about that.
Yeah, but you won't get
And
it
other
even if
stuff.
you talk about it. You live it, you'll get it.
Yeah, no, I understand that.
Yeah.
And many things I choose to do.
You know, good
If I
thing
get,
is, Mark, you got the insight that you are not living it. That means you're
yes,
closer to living it.
yes, but
Yeah.
it's like the simple point is I'm just lazy. Like I like drinking and socializing with friends and having fun, but it's like the feeling I could be doing more than just chit chatting with these people at the bar all the time.
Yeah, yeah. Because entertaining is one thing, but enlightenment is really going away from it a little bit. Not because
Yeah.
you want to sacrifice something, or you just see that you don't have that need anymore.
Right, right.
Yeah. So
And
it's
actually, my sister doesn't drink at all. And she said, "Well, you have fun up there, partly because you've had a couple beers and it's fun chatting with people that
yeah,
have also had a couple beers that you don't know. But eventually, you'll be able to go to the bar, just have a glass of water, and have just as much fun talking to everybody."
yeah. You see, the chatting, the gossip, and all of that doesn't really have the weight in our head, and
It
that
doesn't. What did you say?
doesn't relieve the weight in our head.
Right,
you know,
right.
it kind of reinforces sometimes. So, uh,
Yeah, exactly.
yeah,
And that
clarity,
is what
Mark.
happens. It's like you get up there and you gossip, and it's
Yeah,
fun to bond with them because
yeah,
you're annoyed by the same thing, so you
yeah,
just reinforce why it's annoying.
yeah. It's a kind of people are wise, but then they kind of don't let that come out sometimes, because
Right.
you're occupied with other things. That is the kind of criticism how I started about modern life, even though I was living as a physician and all that. Uh, all about doing stuff, but without really attending to our being. you know that's when
Right.
you reverse
Right.
that, then you can do stuff, but then your being takes a priority. Then this is called uparati in Sanskrit. What it means is, rati means getting involved in games and plays and enjoying ourselves. Okay, but to be really spiritual investigation in that pursuit, you got to be away from that kind of activity a little bit. You see?
Right. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
So
the other thing, I've said this before, but I read the Book of One, and I told you I studied it, and it's a lot of Sanskrit stuff. But I actually appreciated it because the subtlety of the difference between the English translation and the
yeah,
original Sanskrit word,
yeah.
he takes pains to really communicate. And I like that stuff. I love it a lot because it's a little bit different meaning when he
Yeah.
goes through it.
Some
All
of
right,
the
well, think about it.
Sanskrit, the way it is structured grammatically, mathematically, Mark, makes a really profound
Sure.
impact on us by noise. That's you come back, Mark. Went out. So it's a kind of really not being prejudiced about a particular region or not that language itself. Like for example, when I grew up, I was really fond of English. I don't know how, but the English is the first one I really understood well, greater than the Telugu that I was born in or the other languages. So I kind of
So
fascinated.
I don't know if I knew this, but my good friend's from Hyderabad, and he spoke Telugu.
Yeah, there's the same language I have. But then, more than that language, I was very attracted to English. I got more marks in English all the time. I was writing essays, I was speaking it, maybe with accent, but always spoke English better and explained things better in English. But the Sanskrit has this resonance that's very
Yes.
captivating to anybody. You don't have to understand. If you just repeat the poems, you feel that resonance. Especially when they go up and down, that's when you feel that.
Sure.
Yeah. Tell me about the Book of One, what you're talking about.
The author is Dennis Waite, and I don't know, 20-ish years ago. He's my really good friend, the Indian who speaks Telugu. He's from Hyderabad. I don't remember where his uncle was from, but he named his company Advaita, and it was like a coal, had something to do with coal and energy production. Anyway, I had heard of non-duality many times, but I didn't really know what it was. I mean, I kind of had a cursory understanding of it 20 years ago, but not much. And he said, "Oh yeah, this is the thing." And I'm like, "Boy, this must be really important if he named his whole company after it." And he, over the course of the dinner, he described it to me, and I was really excited. And I said, "Well, what's the best book?" And he said, "This one." So I ordered it. And the sad thing is, I studied it. I wrote in the margins, and I wrote and marked stuff, and I circled stuff. Well, I lost that book. I don't have it. So just recently, I reordered it to, go through it again to reorient myself, because I probably read it 15 years ago or something.
Yeah.
But I haven't really looked at it much since then.
Yeah. Yeah, actually, once you really realize that oneness, you feel like it's so simple. Why did I make it so complicated?
Yes.
We are all one. We are all one energy, and that energy, in that energy, we are all born. We are all manifested. We all go through the life, but again, blend back into that energy, and that energy is not personal. It is impersonal. But we are in that, and without that energy, we are not there. See, when
Yes.
the people talk about Advaita or Tao, they talk about as though it is a thing. It's not. It is not something that we can give shape to. It's an energy that we are embedded in, and you feel it with intuition. Like Mark and me and everybody else is all in one energy. That's the fact, because without that life energy, we are not there.
Right.
And we don't have to say that, but it is a fact that we are all there. And once we are there, the weight on the burden of these divisions we have, that somebody is this, somebody is that, that drops. Such a relief. That means you are loving to everybody, not by
Yeah,
expressing
it's
that.
funny because
Yeah,
counterintuitively, sometimes it's hardest to be, like I said yesterday, it's counterintuitive, but sometimes it's hardest to be loving to your spouse, which
Yeah.
you're motivated to because you live with the person every day and you love them.
Yeah.
But like you said, the ego gets in the way,
Yeah.
and then you got those problems happening.
yeah, that's the thing. Is that our thought construct things makes it much difficult about realizing that we are all in one. But once you
Right.
understand the role of the thought, and you end up in that awareness, and then consciously use the thought won't be a burden, it is an asset. Otherwise, it is kind of divisive. Basically, identifies ourselves away from that inclusive energy. You see,
Right.
once you don't identify like
Yes.
that, but just to say what you are, which is all of us in one energy, that is the oneness. This projecting the thought
Yeah.
is the all the things come out of that, and then we kind of, the spider spits out the driver and then makes a net and gets caught in that. That
Right.
is
Right.
that is what the modern people are, because we are raised on thinking that thinking is so important. It's important, but it's not everything. It's one of the tools we have.
Right.
Yeah.
I'll come back if you have no one else.
Yeah, come back. Nobody's there.
From he's and his wife's Brahmin, of course, and he also had an arranged marriage. But I think he met her and talked to her a bit before they had their wedding. Like I think they had some decent arranged, and they've been married. Oh, I don't know, close to 20 years, maybe more than 20 years, probably. I don't know how long, but like 20-ish years. So, but it would be described there for you.
Yeah. See, our thing happened because one of the gentlemen, actually, I met him in New York at my friend's place. He brought some goodies for us from India. So we went to collect him, and then we ended up talking. I was only 27 at the time, and he was like a 65 or something. And we were talking, and then he initiated a talk on Vivekananda. He's a great sage from India. So I also talked to him about him, and he was surprised how much I knew even at that stage. Then he said, I never saw these American kids having this interest. How did you have it? I don't know. It is there like that. Then for that weekend we just met, and then we split. And later on, I was visiting India, and then he came in the on the I was in the balcony, open balcony, and he came up climbing the stairs. I didn't recognize him in the dark. Then he said, "Oh, we met in New York. Do you remember?" Oh, then I remembered. Yes, come on. and we sat down, and he brought the introduction of my wife. Then he said, coming here to see you, and then if you like, we can get a marriage arranged. Out of respect for him, I went to meet her. Right? And then he knew my interior in a way, and he knew my wife's interior. That's how marriages were arranged, not because of the external money and all of that, but more like
Sure.
how are they internally? Will they match? Will they be compatible? Because we have respect for the elderly, we listen to them, their wisdom, right? So, and things worked out, and we got married the day after.
That's fantastic.
Mhm.
That's a great.
Yeah.
So you didn't know? Oh, that's different from what I thought you were saying. I thought maybe it had been arranged, and you knew the families, or
No, no,
you.
no. I
It was
didn't
just
even
real
talk to
quick.
her. I didn't even talk to her.
Wow.
But then we have the respect for the elderly because they were always for our welfare. They are not for their own internal selfish things. So this man is a very spiritual man. That's how I met him. And
Sure.
he has an inclination how, and then also she is so patient, my wife. It is some of the people, when they come and see her, she is the personification of love.
Nice.
Her hospitality, her everything. So you can see how much her role is in this.
Yeah, I think I will try to drive by because it's my plan. I might
Yeah.
change, but it'd be wonderful to meet you and your wife and spend a meal together or
Yeah,
something.
sure. Yeah, you will be treated with nice Indian meal. That will be.
Yeah, I love Indian food.
Yeah.
Are you guys vegetarians?
Yeah, vegetarians.
Yeah, that's perfectly fine.
Yeah.
Obviously, I can eat. My dad's vegetarian, so we have to cook for her and stuff. So
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, welcome. Come by at any time. No problem. Okay.
okay, I'll DM you and I can figure
Okay.
out the logistics and stuff later. But it's early December, so
Sure, Mark. Okay.
okay, I'll talk to you later.
Okay. Thank you. Okay.
Thank you. Bye.
So, anybody else? I thought somebody wanted to come up, but then they left before I could finish with Mark. So, oneness, like what Mark was talking about, is not something we create in our mind. It is so. We are only on one globe, one human tribe, and one consciousness. See, when we first heard that, we all think we are independently conscious and consciousness away from us. No, we are all in one consciousness, and we manifest our bodies and mind in that, and then we get absorbed into that again. So they describe that in ancient India as Brahman, in ancient Chinese, the Tao. Both are the same. So that is the fundamental in life, and then life manifests out of that. So once you intuitively know that is the truth, you don't have to be told by anybody. You don't have to read books, you don't have to talk a lot, but you just keep quiet and then feel that. And out of that intuitive grasp, you really see you don't have to find it, you are in it. You are that. That's the famous Indian thing of what's called Tattvamasi. I am that. And that being the um, God, you can call it, or complete power, or soul, whatever you name it, but that energy is beyond this limited thinking in our mind. Modern man problem is that I think, therefore I am. No, you are conscious, therefore you are, and thinking is one of the faculties of you. Wonderful, beautiful, powerful thing, but it can also lead you away from the union, the unity of all, the oneness of all. So you are separated by your own thinking, your own ego, And so whatever the thought construct is limited because it can change, right? It can go away. So getting out of the trap of that matrix of the thought is a big deal. But I have to say this because I've seen so many of my friends and even people who are very well educated, they kind of build their own thought matrix, network of thought, and gets caught in that. That's why they feel like they are separate individuals. They have separate existences and all. That's why they cannot accept other people that easily. But whereas this is a fact is that we are all in one energy. Even physics is saying that too. But we separate ourselves with our way we think about us being separate. So once you come see that, it's a very simple thing. The fact is that we're all one. The artificial thing that we made is that we are individual cells. It's not so. But once you feel that, such a liberation, such a freedom from the burden of identifying with a particular group or particular tribe and then fighting with other people. And I remember Eckhart Tolle talked about this one time, and he said, because of this, thinking that we are individual, we have this thinking that is really makes us separate from other people and not able to really be in the consciousness and the oneness, we kind of create a division, and that resulted in so many wars, and the wars killed 130 million people in 20th century. He was particularly talking about it. And then Descartes, he said, Rene Descartes, when he said, I think, therefore I am, he kind of waited a little bit and then he would have found out, I'm conscious, therefore I am. I remember that. But what he was talking about, the division causing the war, says like uh, any leader can be charismatic and then can attract some people and then say this particular country is not good for us, so let's go take the war. Because all these people kind of allow themselves to be influenced by that separativeness, saying that other country and me are separate. They kind of go on the war and then kill other people just for the sake of trying to protect themselves because they think they are separate from the other person. But the enemy and this person are the same. That's the same consciousness. Once you understand that, it becomes much easier. You know? So it's not that we get sold by this argument. It's a kind of, you have to intuitively grasp yourself. Otherwise, nobody can make you grasp or nobody make you. The more you think about it, the more you're going to separate yourself from others. So don't think about it. Keep quiet and see what happens. In the mind. Okay. So I enjoyed some people coming up, Mabel, Mark, and all that. So somebody wanted to come up. By the time I opened, I think they're gone. So if they want to come up, we can talk a few more times. Few more minutes, I meant to say. Okay. So thank you. And anybody still having problems with this election results or really trying to deal with some hard times, I'm open to really spend time with them and see how they feel and how. Okay, Janet is coming up too. So let's see. Yeah, Janet.
Dr. Rao, how are you?
I am great.
I'm great as well.
Yeah,
I,
very good, very good.
for
Yeah,
advice today and
Yeah.
did the breathing exercises and
yeah,
worked on my thoughts and
yeah,
observing my thoughts and discarding them.
yeah.
And it's worked pretty well for me
Yeah.
today. I don't have a headache anymore and I'm feeling a lot better.
Very good. Remember in the morning time what we do? We want to, be really objectively see the thought, not involved in it. So then there is separation little bit from the thoughts and us. That's the one you want to catch. Even one glimpse like that, Janet, that becomes a habit. Then any thought comes, you won't really engulfed in that. You will watch it, and then it will go away.
Yes.
Yeah.
I trust what you say. It
Yeah.
worked.
No, no, try it. You yourself will see that, because you are not involved in the thought. It's kind of takes its own career and move away. Like a cloud in the sky comes in, and you just watch it go from center to the other way. That's actually a meditation practice I kind of employ with a lot of people, because if they can do one time, it becomes easier for them next time. You see? So
Yeah.
watching thoughts as objects is not something people are used to. So once they get used to it, then you can choose what you want to think and what you want to exercise. So you're going to be more awareness of the thought and more intentional about it. Then thought doesn't have the power. It has to do what you want to do. Right?
Right.
Make thoughts objects that you could see, and then you can have even momentary silence from them is good, and then you can build upon that. It's like I am not in thought. Usually I'm in the awareness of the movement, what's happening, who is in front of me, and all that. And then I use thought intentionally to express myself, and then keep quiet, finish it, don't carry it around. Is that make sense to you?
Yes, sir, it
Yeah,
does.
yeah. This is something we all have as human beings. This is a prefrontal cortex coming in, which is evolved in human beings. That's why we should be able to do that. But then we are not taught about that. You see, we're not sure, hey, don't get involved in the thought so much, but just take a break. We were not given that as children. That's why we build up this habit of thinking continuously, right?
Right.
Yeah.
I was not taught that as a child.
Yeah. But you can do it as a youngster also, like as you grow up. But the essential thing is we get caught in that thought network. But what I'm saying it is, no, no, make it your slave, make it useful to you, but don't get a victim of that. You remember they used to say your mind can be your best friend or best enemy.
Yes.
This is it. Say thought has this automaticism, right? It can build on one thought to two thoughts, three thoughts, four thoughts, like that. The network can happen within few seconds. Like I can go back to India and come back in a second. I'm glad it's working for you, Janet, and I'm more than happy to spend time with you to go on, get enrooted in that consciousness and be that.
I really want to get there.
Yeah, you will, because you're already making progress now, right?
Yes.
Yeah. See, because it's not like a few moments you do it and then go. Once you understand it, you are there all the time, and then only the time you are not there, you should be working on.
Right.
Then otherwise the mind habit of the previous habits come very, especially after you sleep on this, in the morning you wake up again, the same thing will happen. So first few days will be like that, and once you learn to be consciously present, then the networking stops, then you have such a relief from the head, you don't have headaches. So come back, Janet, if you have something else to say. I'm very excited when I see people like Janet who are getting the direct benefit from what we are talking about, and they took it and then implemented. This is, she is doing it. I'm not letting her do, I'm just only talking about it, but she is doing it. And that's the one we are really focused on. How can we direct them so that they can go inward themselves and do this observation of thought, and really not letting the thought dominate us, rather use the thought intentionally and stop it. Doesn't mean you become dumb or quiet and all. You just don't allow the power of thought take you over, and then you don't have control over it. Then you have problem dealing with all that. So anyway, I don't want to be abstract about it. Just do it. Do it. Do it. Observe the thoughts like they are a cloud in the sky, and then see what happens. So, okay. Thank you all, and we'll see you again whenever the time permits. And thanks for joining me. Thanks, Janet, for all that you are doing now. And that could be thanks, Mark, and thanks, Mabel. And I'll see you later.